of the Liberal Party, Micheal Ignatieff. The two previous occasions that you were on this program, you were either vying to be an honorable member or you were the Liberal Party candidate for the leadership. Now you're the Liberal Party leader. You've been on the job for a couple of weeks.
A week.
That's it. But did you know? You must have known it was coming, right?
Had no idea.
Did you know Barbara
on the Monday morning of last week, if you told me I'd be the leader by Wednesday, I would have said, "Get out of here." I was serious.
Really?
It's been quite a week.
You'd think with the position that holds such importance, there would be some planning. That somebody would let you know that it's going to happen like that.
Yeah, no, it's true. Look, this is a story about unintended consequences. Mr. Harper gives us an autumn statement that is terrible. It's a joke. It doesn't respond to the needs of the country. The opposition rises up. Coalitions get formed. We then realize, my God, we've got to have a leader. You know, yeah. I don't think Harper understood what he was starting, but the thing he didn't understand is the Liberal Party would get its act together.
So, well, that's still debatable, isn't it?
Well,
you know, so we've got...
You watch, George. You watch.
Oh, we'll get into that. You were one of the last guys to sign on to the coalition. Much is made about the fact that you were hesitant to sign on, but you signed on anyway. Will you continue down this road of a coalition?
It depends on Stephen Harper. If Stephen Harper gives us a budget that helps Canadians, protects the most vulnerable, gives assistance to the people who are having a really hard time, and begins to help the entrepreneurs and the investors to get our economy out of the ditch. If he meets those two challenges, and I look at it and assess it and think this thing is in the national interest, he might survive for a while. Mm-hmm. If that budget is the kind of joke that the autumn statement was, and I mean a joke, it was a disgrace, that document, we vote him down. And then the Governor General has to choose whether I can give the country a stable government.
You have to ask for a coalition, don't you? And so will you ask for a coalition, or will you go to the polls?
I would think we would ask the Governor General if we can form a government.
The idea of forming a coalition has met with... I actually kind of enjoyed the outrage at it because it meant people were paying attention.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Well, I really did. I'm also not in the Liberal Party, and so... But there was a lot of people who basically said, even though while it is constitutionally allowed, this is not where our country has gone, and we should not have one. And much was made about you and Jack Layton and Micheal Ignatieff now, and the three of you working together, which you're going to need to do to govern this country. Do you think people are right to be worried about a coalition government? We don't really do them here.
I think Canadians are very engaged in this question. They are involved in Canadian politics in ways that I think have caught all us politicians by surprise. I'm getting a lot back. You can warm your hands on what you're getting back. Some of it's very passionately against coalition, I'll be frank with you. Some of it thinks if the choice is between a coalition and more Stephen Harper, give me a coalition. Right? The country is more divided on this question. My job as a leader is to listen very carefully in the next 3 weeks and make a tough call, but that's what you pay me to do.
Is this call about being the Prime Minister or about rebuilding the Liberal Party? Like Liberal Party versus coalition, some say that you can't do both, that you can't rebuild the Liberal Party to where it needs to be while running a coalition.
That's a very good point. It's not about becoming Prime Minister. Of course, if the voters one day want me to be Prime Minister, it'd be an honor to serve. But it's first of all making that judgment. Is this darn budget in the national interest of our country? That's the question. That's the question I have to decide with my caucus and with all the people around the country. We'll take a look at that, and then we make the call. If Mr. Harper manages to survive, he'll be a wounded beast. He's made terrible errors in the last 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, one day he's saying there's no problem. Next day he's saying there's going to be a deficit. Then he says we're on the edge of a depression. The man can't get his story straight. This is not leadership. And so he's wounded. So if he escapes this time, then I get a little time to rebuild the Liberal Party. We have some rebuilding to do. And then we take him down later. But make no mistake, in my sincere judgment, his days are numbered.
Twice in the recent past, Canadians have sent a parliament that has this makeup. Could that be an indication to everybody in the House of Commons that this is what we want? This is what the Canadians want, and to keep calling elections because one cat wants to win versus another one, That's when it starts to seem like now you guys are running for yourselves and not for what we've done, because twice we've sent this House to Ottawa.
I think that's a very good point. 3 times Stephen Harper has gone to the well and drawn up a bucket that wasn't full, right? 3 times he's tried to get a majority government and failed, because the Canadian public have sent a very clear message. They've also, let's be honest, sent a clear message to us. Yeah. We did not do well in October. I am aware of that. We've got a lot of work to reconvince Canadians in Quebec, but especially out west, that we're listening, we're respectful, we know we've made some mistakes in the past, we want to turn the corner with them. So we've all got a lot of work to do.
How is your Liberal Party different from Stéphane Dion's Liberal Party?
I think it's a party that builds on some of the things that Stéphane did. I think there's wide respect for a couple of things he did. One of them, the attention he gave to women in our party. Secondly, the attention he gave on environmental issues. He put environmental sustainability at the center of what a Liberal Party ought to stand for. Now, we then got to figure out how to do that in a time of recession and depression. But there's some things that he contributed that I don't want to throw overboard at all.
Is the green shift in the Micheal Ignatieff Liberal Party?
I think what we need to do on environmental stuff is say a very simple message. How can we get Canadians to waste less energy? You waste less energy, you shoot less stuff up the stack, right? The key thing is energy efficiency and energy use. We get that message out. It's great for productivity. It makes us more efficient, and it helps to save the planet.
All right, the man who sleeps in the house you're gunning for is Stephen Harper. You met with him. We'll come back and find out what that conversation was like. More with Micheal Ignatieff after this.